Senator, thank you so much for making the time.
Thank you, Natasha.
Did the 2024 election break the Democratic Party, and how can it be fixed?
The Democratic Party is not broken. In fact, some of the way forward is actually looking backwards to our working class populist union roots that we used to hold a lot more closer to our values than we do today in 2024 as a national Democratic Party. But most importantly, we have to start showing up everywhere again. We have to meet people where they are, no matter where they are. And in some ways, we've stopped becoming a truly national Democratic Party. And so, look, I come from a Trump plus 12 district that I just won by 14 points. And so that's what I live and breathe and do every single day daily for the past over a decade is I go into meeting rooms that traditionally Democrats don't go into. I go on media outlets that a lot of Democrats traditionally have not been going onto. And so we've got to start meeting voters where they are again.
I hear that message. And, DNC Finance Committee member Lindy Lee was on with us here on NewsNation Prime last weekend. She said that former President Barack Obama and then Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi did not want VP Harris to be the party nominee. Let's listen together.
It was just startling how there was no sense of responsibility. No one assumed any accountability for what happened. They essentially set $2 billion on fire in 100 days. And a lot of people poured their hearts and souls into the effort to do everything they could to help Kamala Harris win.
Okay, so she's talking about campaign spending there, but Senator, was Pelosi right? Was she not the right nominee?
I think what's the more important question is why was she given such a short runway? It's unprecedented in modern American politics to run a 107-day-long presidential campaign.
So Senator, do you place the blame on President Biden then?
I believe President Biden should have withdrawn sooner from the race. And if that meant an open primary, I still think I have a high level of confidence that Vice President Harris would have been the nominee, but she would have been a stronger nominee for having that longer runway. So yes, I do believe he should have stepped down sooner.
Okay, and I want to ask you to react to what we did hear Lindy Lee just say, in that soundbite there, expressing dismay at a campaign leadership's lack of responsibility for their poor performance. Your reaction to those comments?
Well, I want to hone in on her comment about the money and where it went. I spoke with literally yesterday a DNC member in Arizona, obviously a battleground state, who shared with me that she got about 16 big glossy mailers a day per day in her mailbox from the National Democratic Party. And I don't know about you, but there's nothing that 16th mailer is doing that the 15th mailer was not already doing. We should have been reorienting our spending, and this is what I'll do as DNC chair, and sending a lot more money to our boots on the ground, our folks in the trenches, the state committees, the county committees, new partnerships with organized labor who we've taken for granted for far too long. Stop sending money, lighting it on fire. She's right. Lighting it on fire by sending it to the DC consultant class, the cocktail circuit that's been ripping off our party for too long because they're well connected and getting those contracts from the DNC. Start putting the money where it matters, where votes will move, and rebuilding our party in the Great Plains, in the South, in those places where we've stopped showing up.
Senator, let me ask you, I want to talk about this memo from outgoing DNC Chair Jamie Harrison sent to members. It says in part, as we take stock of where we fell short, it's equally important to assess what worked, adding that the red wave could have been larger. Do you think it's right to put this kind of positive spin, a glass half full, out there after such a demoralizing loss on the biggest stage?
Well, certainly we should also focus on what worked well. And there were things that did work well in the last campaign. However, politics, whether we like it or not, there are only two outcomes at the end of the day. Either you win or you lose. And by any standard, nationally, we lost in a big way with the House and the Senate and the White House returning to Republican hands. And so, of course, when we do, and I believe all the candidates who are running for DNC chairs support doing a report, an autopsy, whatever whatever you want to call it. I don't like the word autopsy on what happened. Of course, we should look at what went right and what went wrong, and that all needs to be internalized. But to suggest that nothing went right in a 107-day campaign, I think that is a Republican talking point. Quite frankly, there's a lot that went right, but not enough.
But not enough, clearly. I know you want to move your party forward. We appreciate your time tonight. State Senator James Skoufis, we appreciate it, candidate for DNC chair. Have a good evening.
Thank you, you too.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.